Hello everyone, it's Chrissy here from the Creative Eclectic. Tonight is our first Tuesday Night Lights for 2024. Welcome back. Hope you're having a fabulous day and a fabulous week. There's so much going on, and I'm sorry I'm a few minutes late. I was having to clean up after an unexpected dog groom, so I am sorry I'm late. So let's see who's watching. Okay, hopefully some people are coming on, and I'll be... Oh, hi Glenda, lovely to see you. Thank you for coming to the catalogue launch on Saturday. All right, let's see. Okay, hope you're having a lovely day and I hope you're well. All right, so tonight we're doing a bit of a sketch, but I can't find my piece of paper that had the sketch on it, so I'm going to have to draw another one. I thought that it would be nice to show you how you use a sketch in when you're crafting. So I'm just going to grab a piece of Steve's paper, if I can find a blank sheet of paper anywhere. He got given this little notebook, and some pages have just got one scribble on them, but I don't know if they're important scribbles. So I'm going to tear a page out and hope it's not an important scribble. So that's Steve's little note from Steve's notebook. And I'm going to draw you a little sketch that we're going to be using tonight. Now I can't see who else is watching. Oh, Lisa's watching. Who else? Carolyn's watching. Hello. I'm watching. Make sure you say hello in the comments and tell me how you're doing. Oh, goodness. So, Steve's been using the office today, and the chair is set so it feels like I'm sitting on the floor. I don't know where he thinks he was sitting. Oh, that's better. Oh, goodness. It's got it set right down so it's really, really low. All right. Oh, Jodie's watching. Hi, Jodie. All right. So, we don't even have a pen that works. Let's see if this pen here works. All right. So tonight we're doing a bit of a sketch. So I'm just going to draw the sketch since I can't find my paper that's got the sketch on. We got a dodgy pen. Hi Glenda L. Is it raining up there, Glenda? So it's raining here. It's been raining here all day. Oh, that's a bit of a... So that's just ignore that. I'm hoping that's nothing important. So that's the outline of your card, all right? Hi Sharon. So tonight's little sketch is going to be a little layout like that, so that's like got a little embellishment of my choice or whatever I'm going to use. I'm going to put a heart here. Now my friend Meg designed this sketch, so thanks Meg. I wish I knew where my printed version of it was. Okay, and then we've got, so we've got our card base, and this is what our basic layout would be. So whenever you're using a sketch, it's very misty stuff on and off and very muggy. Oh yes, it's a bit like that too here too at Glenda. Sharon, is it raining up where you are? I guess it probably is. All right, so we've got our a basic card layout. So when you use a sketch, basically it's like a little pattern. And so today's card is using that basic layout of, you've got a base and two elements or two shapes and then another shape, another piece, right? So that's our starting point. I forgot to say hi. How are you, Jodie, Lisa, and Glenda, and Sharon? Sorry, I did mean to ask. I got all excited because I'm back. So hopefully everyone's got your mini catalogue in the mail now. And you're hot. Well, okay, Jodie. That could be taken so many ways. All right. So what we're going to do this month, I nominated a bundle of the month. So I nominated one from the annual catalogue, and you'll see that on my blog, and that is a gorgeously made stamp set. And I've nominated the Be My Valentine bundle from the mini catalogue as our January bundle of the month. So you will see that a lot over the next couple of weeks. So the people who came to our catalogue launch on Saturday, and we had lots of lovely people come on Saturday. Oh, so you're in billow today, Sharon. Ooh. It's always hot in billow. Anyway, so this was the make and take that we made on Saturday with our Be Mine. So we got a little bit of a wobble on. We used some wobbly things to make it, and did some heat embossing and some background stamping and used some vellum. So that was our make and take on Saturday for our catalogue launch. So that was lots of fun. And thank you everybody who came. So tonight, though, we're using the Be Mine bundle, and you'll find this on pages 8, 9 and 10. Page 10 gives you a bit of a better look of what's in the bundle. So you've got some good background stamps, some what I call salt and pepper stamps. Oh, you're working at the... Oh, that sounds interesting, Sharon. Huh. And so these are these little stamps that I use to fill. So this little hearts here, the little flowers, those little stems. What I call them is salt and pepper stamps. So I use them as a filler to fill in backgrounds and things like that. So, and same with this little heart down here. So, whereas this honeycomb stamp, I would use this as a normal background. So what I like about this set is that the words are nice. It's got a nice font, and you can cut the words up if you want, and you can use the punch, like this bee punch. You can use it for the bee body, but you could use it for a conversation bubble or a speech bubble. Hi Kim, thanks for watching. Sharing good luck with the sale of your cards. Okay, and these wings, you could use them as hearts. You could use these little antennae, which aren't part of, well, they are part of the punch apparently. You use the heart bit to cut them out. I don't, I just fussy cut them. I didn't know you could use the heart bit. Maybe I need to read the catalogue a bit closer. So you could use those as little little pods on the flowers or something like that. So you can use the hearts as wings. Use this heart as smaller wings. So there's lots of things you can do with this set. And a lot of people go, oh, I don't like bees. But if you use the punch and you cut off that little stem thing, I'll show you on this punch here. Oh, thank goodness, Sharon, I'm not alone. I only noticed it there. And you just cut off that little bit there. You could use that to make bugs and all sorts of things. And you could use, or you could use it to make a snowman's body, or so you can use, if you're doing into punch art, you can use this a whole heap of different ways. All right, so let's get back to our little sketch that we're doing today. So the sketch looks like this, and you can have it as a portrait or as a landscape. So I've got my little white base card. How are you, Kim? Nice to see you. We missed you Saturday, but I'm glad you're feeling a little bit better today. I spent hours cleaning this the other day, and my husband's been in here for 2 days. Yeah, I do too, Sharon. I love this bundle. This is why it's a bundle of the month. And every month I'm going to nominate a different bundle. So I've got my base card. I've also got a piece of, oh, what I need to tell you, sorry, before I get any further. Yes, she was, Sharon. She was at my launch. She drove down on, when did she drive down? She drove down Wednesday and spent some time in the city, and then came and stayed with me from Friday till Sunday. Excuse me. So the Be Mine bundle is part of a bigger suite. So the suite has got paper, it's got really cute embellishments, it's got some lovely ribbon, and it's got these fabulous little pillow boxes. Now, if you're coming to my class on Wednesday the 31st of January, which starts at 9:30, we're using the Be My Valentine bundle, but we're also using some of the paper. If you're part of my paper share, you'll get a tutorial on how to use this paper. All right, and you'll get the material for one card. Oh wow. Oh, okay, here we go. So I've got a piece of Petal Pink. Now, Petal Pink isn't a colour I use a lot of. I've got my white base card. I've got a piece of basic white that I have embossed with, the Basics 3D embossing folders. So this is a great little selection of embossing folders. So I've used the dotty ones, but I like this one. It looks like linen. And there's another one that looks like flowery star thingies. So I've used that. That's an online exclusive. So you get all 3 embossing folders. All right. Hi, Libby. Thank you for watching. All right. So we've got those. I've got a little bit of pattern paper. So I'm going to use the pattern paper for these 2 pieces in my sketch. So that bit and that bit. And these are from the Be Mine bundle. And I'm going to use the Petal Pink side because it's not something that I use a lot of. Lovely to see you watching, Libby. I haven't watched for ages. I don't know that you've... I can't remember the last time. I hope you're really well. All right, so we've got, that's our 3 layers. We've also got, I've got a bit of ribbon. So I'm making a really simple card, and the reason I'm making a really simple card tonight is to show you how simple it is to create something pretty without a whole lot of stuff. So I've got a bit of ribbon. So this is, I don't have any petal pink ribbon. So I am making do with this center stripe ribbon, which is actually in pecan pie. But the beautiful thing about Stampin' Up! Ribbons, when they're white or when they're like a vanilla colour, is you can colour them. All right, so let me see if I can find a scrap piece of paper somewhere. My husband has got this big pile of scraps. Look at this. This big pile of scrap pieces of paper, and it's written on both sides, so I can't use any of them. Joys of sharing a desk with somebody. All right. I've got a post-it note though. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my post-it note, and I've got my Petal Pink stamping blends. Now I use my Petal Pink stamping blends. Oh, I'm glad you're feeling a little creative. Oh, Libby, you should bring Linda along to my class on Friday night. We're doing a champagne and crafts class, and we're using a kit, and it's super easy. So we'll do the kit, and then we'll do a couple of extra bits and pieces, well, a couple of extra cards using the contents of the kit. So I'm colouring my ribbon. So I need enough to go all the way across my card, but I need a bit extra for my bow. All right. So see how it's just colouring it. If you want it darker, you can colour it on both sides. Now, just be careful when you're colouring your ribbon that you're not pressing too hard with your tip of your marker, because that can wreck your marker. Just nice and gently. All right. Okay. Yeah, so we've had 6 people sign up for my paper share, which is a bit of a record. I've never done a paper and ribbon share where I've had 6 people sign up. Well, actually, no, I had 8. So I'm really excited about that. It'll be, because they're 8. So that's a bit ironic, because there are 8 papers that are part of the share, and they get 8 tutorials. So that's pretty cool. I'm really happy about that. So I've got my ribbon. It's nicely coloured. I'm just going to set that aside to dry a little bit more. I'm hoping I've got scissors up here. Yeah. So yes, we had to give Delphi a bit of an emergency groom today. So she, yeah, I know. So I was still grooming her at 6:45. So yeah, she crashed up into a bit of a mess. Found a pair of scissors. They aren't my normal scissors, but they will do for now. Okay. All right, so we've got our ribbon coloured, so we don't need our stamping blends anymore. Now you can colour ribbon, Stampin' Up! Ribbon, with ink refills and also with Stampin' Right markers. Hi Lynette, how are you? And hello Megan, how you going? All right, so I am going to, tonight we're doing a little bit of a sketch challenge. So this is the sketch that we're doing. Now it doesn't have to be a heart that's in the middle, and we're not doing a heart. So basically what a sketch is a pattern that you base your creativity on. All right, so now I've got two pieces. I'm going to get my pieces of pattern paper, and I'm hoping my trimmer is up here. And if it's not, well, we'll just improvise. And we're going to improvise, and we're going to do, no, he didn't design the sketch, Megan. My friend, what's her name? Megan designed the sketch. Now, I don't have my paper trimmer up here, so we're going to do a bit of, what do you call that word? Improvising. So I've got my ruler, and I'm gonna have torn edges tonight. Wasn't originally in my plan, but because I'm not going all the way downstairs to grab my paper trimmer, we're doing torn edges. All right. Now, normally when I do torn edges, I would use my, what are they, water painters? I'm sorry, you can tell it's the first one for the year, can't you? My words aren't playing nice. Okay, so I would use my water painters to run along the part where I want to tear. But I don't have those up here either. Now, as I said, this sketch that we're doing is just a starting point, and I'm glad my friend Meg from I Teach Stamping came up with it. Let's see if I can tear this bit off without wrecking it too much. They probably think, Chrissy, just go downstairs and get the paper trimmer, but you know, why do that when we can, because there are going to be times when you're crafting and you don't have all your stuff. You might be at a retreat, you might be at a soiree by the sea, and you won't have all your stuff. So sometimes you just need to improvise. So that's this bit here. I am going to cut that bit there. So I've got one of my pieces for the sketch, and I'm going to try and do the other one around about the same size. So we'll start here. So if you've used a ruler and oh, Megan, I got my nails done. I did them specially for you. I don't know if you can see them. They're, I've got hot pink racing stripes. You love my adaptation of the trimmer. Well, Sharon, necessity is the mother of invention, so I've been told. My husband says that to me all the time. So this is my little adapting to not having my trimmer upstairs. I've got 3 paper trimmers, mind you, and 2 guillotines, oh no, 4 guillotines, and yeah, none of them are in the study where I film. All right. They're sort of cat's eye nails, Megan. I was just going to go very plain this time, and I thought, oh no, I've got to wait until after Valentine's Day before I go very plain. All right. So they don't have to be the same size, and I'm okay with them not being the same size. And I know that some of you don't like shabby. Oh no, Megan. You took your nails off. Oh no, I can't do that. I might do that at the end of the year. All right, so some of you don't like this shabby look, and that's okay. If you were doing this sketch at home, you would use your paper trimmer. All right, so putting a ruler where your fold mark is does help you get it a lot crisper edge. And if it doesn't tear the way that you want, well, you've always got a pair of scissors. You can just use the scissors to start where you want it tearing. And because I'm tearing it towards me, you'll get that white around the edge, and that's what I want. Because then I did bring up my my blending brush and my ink pad, so I did remember that. That's a good start. And I can just ink the edges. And so this is very much I had an idea in my head, and I'm hoping that it's going to work out okay. I didn't prep it because I know how much you all like it when I wing it. The striped paper is from the Be Mine Sweet Vegan. So it's a Buzzy Bee stuff. It's very, very pretty. The other side is flowers, and they're definitely not my style, so I'm looking forward to, but that said, one of the tutorials that I've done for, I'm not sure if it's for the class or for the paper share, has that on it. So I'm just inking up the edges. Now, if you wanted to, you could even stamp on these or emboss on these. Okay. And I'm keeping my colour palette fairly plain. Really only using the nice pink. Now what I want to do, before I get too far into it, I've got this piece here. I'm just trying to darken the edges so that and I probably need to, it's going to be very subtle, but it just makes it stand out just a little bit. So I'm just wiping on my ink pad. Okay. Alright, and the other thing I'm going to do with this background piece, grab out my little honeycomb stamp, and we're going to do a tone on tone around the edge, just in the top and bottom corner. Now you'll notice I'm not using a stamping mat because I'm using this notepad of post-it notes has enough in it that I don't need another rubber foam mat. Now, what you can do with these stamps is you can actually line them up. Sort of, hopefully don't have my head in there. And you can create, if you line them up properly, like I haven't lined that one up exactly right, but you can actually build your honeycomb. It's a bit hard to do it when you've got shadows and, yeah, so you sort of build that honeycomb out. So you can, so if you're directly over it, you can see what you're doing. I'm hoping I'm not cutting out. Okay, because my screen keeps freezing. Right, so before I get too far in, I'm also going to use that same stamp on the inside of my card, because we don't want a naked inside of our card. Okay. Because that would just be sad. So, oh, it's all good. Thank you, Sharon. I always worry about that. Our internet is super dodgy, and we were supposed to go down today and look at new internet and new phones, but we didn't get there. So, yeah. It must be the weather. Oh, yeah. You might have the same internet connection as me. Splendor. Oh. All right. So we've done the inside of our card. We've got our first layer done. I'm going to, before I stick my mat on, I'm going to actually stick this over top of it, because I want the ribbon to go behind both layers. So you're cutting out now. Oh, it's so dodgy. I'm sorry about that. I'll keep going and see how we go, but yes, I think our internet router is on its way out, or it might be the weather, I don't know. Very, very faint little bits of the honeycomb. Okay, it's buffering a lot. Oh dear. Sorry about that, people. There's not a lot I can do about that. So before I move any further forward, I'm going to stick my pattern paper on, and we'll just persevere and see how we go with the buffering. There's not a lot I can do about the weather, and that does affect the internet as well. I've even got my study door open, so, and I'm worried about that you'll hear the tennis. But anyway, it doesn't really matter. We'll do the best we can, and I know that you all understand that I don't have any control over technology. And we will, let's just see that it's still, it looks like it's still working. Oh no, you've lost me. Oh dear. Because it doesn't look like it's cutting out when you video it. I've lost 4 people now. Sorry about that, people. Oh dear. I'll just keep going, and you can watch the replay and I will definitely go and see about my internet tomorrow. See, it never happens when Steve's watching movies, so if it was happening while he was trying to stream his favourite TV show like Jack Reacher, then he would be there in 2 seconds flat. Alright, now got our base on. Oh, you're back again. Awesome, Glenda. Alright, got my base on. I've glue dotted my little pieces together. Now, on our sketch, we need to look at this, what this little heart piece is. I'm not going to use a heart. I'm going to use my little speech bubble here. And I'm also going to use these little die cuts. Now, in the mini catalogue, on page, hang on, I'll just find it first. You never find things when you want them. I'm sticking to the mini catalogue now. In the mini catalogue, it's got some fabulous little embossing folders. And one of the both of the embossing folders that there are, this one here is the one that I borrowed from my friend Kim, and you can die cut and emboss all at the same time. So that's what I've done, and so I did quite a few in white, so I want to put those on my speech bubble. Now, because I've already cut them out, I can see what size would fit. And I think the Oh Happy Day would be lovely. So yes, I'm not using my bee as a, my bee punch as a bee. I'm using it as a speech bubble. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to punch out my little speech bubble here. I don't want to waste quite that much. So because I don't want to waste much, I'm just going to tear a piece off. Oh, it looks like I've stuck again. Okay, tear a piece off so I don't waste a whole lot. And then I'm going to pop that into here. And I'm going to put it on an angle so I can get the little heart as well. Now, if you don't have enough border surrounding your speech bubble, it's not going to cut properly. So I didn't have enough cardstock for it to grab onto, so it didn't cut the way it's supposed to do. So, because I was trying to be frugal. Let me just show you how it works when you do have enough, right? I didn't really want, and it also doesn't work properly if the cardstock is a bit damp. So I think that might have an issue as well. So if it's a bit damp, and I can feel that it's damp, it's not going to cut well. Let's push it right in and see if I can fix that. No, it's still too damp. So it's all right. I'll just put that away. We will make do with what we have. I'll just use my scissors to cut that off. And see, this little heart didn't punch properly because the paper is damp. Yes, Kim, I have tried inking the embossing folder and it looks lovely, and you can ink it with a brayer or a blending brush or your ink pad direct to, you can ink it in several different ways. You can use a sponge dauber. It really works fabulously. But tonight we're just using what we have upstairs. I'm just going to grab my stamp again, and I want to just stamp my beehive, oh no, my honeycomb on the background. I'm just going to bring it a bit closer to me, so it might be off screen, so I can stamp the pattern without wrecking it. And see, I've carried the pattern on. Okay. So I'm covering the whole of the beehive, of the speech bubble with the honeycomb stamp. Right. Okay. So the next thing I need to do is I'm just going to grab my blending brush, and I'm also going to just ink up the letters on the die cut sentiment so you can see them as well. Okay. Now, well, it looks like we've got everybody back again. I really appreciate everybody bearing with me and watching. Now what you could do is you could just get your ink pad and go like that. I'm not going to risk that today. You can do it and it does work, but I'm not going to do that. So I've got my little speech bubble there. I'm going to pop that on. And I'm also going to tie a little bow as well using my 10-second bow maker. So I'm going to make a bit bigger bow. So we'll just tie a nice neat bow. And I know my friend's husband, whenever he watches me tie bows, since he made these bow makers, he cringes because I don't do it the way that he does. So but it works for me. Let's cut off the little excess bits. So I've got my nice bow. It's nice and flat. I did remember to bring up some dimensionals. Right. See that. Okay. It still looks like it's frozen again, but I'm sorry about that. Let's just go back in. Okay. I'm trying to bring it back up so I can see your comments, and I can't do that. I'm sorry about that. I can't see what anyone's saying because it keeps freezing. I'm going okay now. Well, that's good because I can't even find my post now. Oh dear. That's dreadful. All right, so we got some dimensionals. Oh, here we go. Got some dimensionals. We're going to pop these on the back of our speech bubble. I think we're okay. Awesome. We think we're going okay. Ah, it drives me nuts, this whole internet thing. And I would think that when you're working from home, like my husband has done pretty much every day for the last 3 weeks, or 4 weeks, you would need to make sure your internet is stable. But anyway, it might be just my issue. All right, so we've got our little Oh Happy Day. Now, if you were going to be really clever, what you could do before you cut these embossed pieces out, you could put the dimensional sheets behind the back of them and cut them out then. I reckon they'd make the whole little piece stand up. Alright, but I didn't do that, so this is plan B. We've got lots of plan B, D's and E's and F's today. I think it's okay now. Alright. Okay. So I have popped that on there like that. I think that what I need to do before I stick it down properly, I just need to gently prise this piece off. I'm going to grab my stamping blend and I'm just going to go around the edge with my stamping blend to just make it a little bit darker so it stands out as a speech bubble. And you don't have to have your element in the middle. You can have it a little bit over to one side, which is what I'm going to do, so that most of it is on the stripy paper, so it stands out a bit more. And I'm going to stick my ribbon. Let's stick my ribbon. Stick my ribbon here like that. Actually, no. stick it over here. So as I said, this is an experiment and we're winging it as usual. Got my Oh Happy Day. You might think, oh Chrissy, what are you doing? You need to have more of a break and come back and give us some better ideas. Well, maybe I do, but I don't think it's too bad. So we need some embellishments. So I'm going to use, I don't have the flowery embellishments up here. So we're going to stick our bow on with some glue dots. Move that out of the way. Let's just put a glue dot on the ribbon there. That'll be quite all right. So this isn't a colour that I play with often. So I am struggling a little bit with this really pale colour. But my resolution for the new year, oh no Megan, I didn't at all. I didn't get all my cards made. But that's okay. I got a lot done and I was ready on time as much as I could be without having all my sample cards made. I was ready before people arrived for my launch party, so that's always a good sign. Alright, so we've stuck our glue dots on. We're going to use these little cork embellishments from the mini catalogue. Now, just to give it a bit, because the ribbon is quite rustic, so I want to give it a bit more of a rustic look as well. Now these cork things have embellishments come in two sizes. So there's a big and a little. And like they are actually cork, so they're really nice and textured, and I do like that. They feel just like cork. I'll pop that one there. Right, it's a bit of a different one, and now I've got these two rogue hearts that are hanging around, and we're going to take my pick tool and I'm going to press them onto my ink pad to make them a bit darker. There's that one. And then I'm not going to do the same with that one. I'm going to grab my embossing folder that I had before. Where is it? This spotty embossing folder that I used for the background. And I'm going to put a bit of ink on it. Grab my heart, and I'm just going to press it down. Alright, so when I turn it over, it's got little indents in the heart, and it's also got some ink where the indents are. So that's another way you can use your embossing folder. Just use baby wipe and wipe off the ink after you've done it. That's just another simple way you can use your embossing folder without your embossing machine. or die cutting machine. And we're going to pop this I think I'm going to pop that there. So I'm hoping you like this card. Because I struggle with this colour, and it's not that it's an awful colour, it's just very, for me, very, very pale. I don't know if I like the card, because the colour isn't something that I would use a lot. Okay, and we just need one more little mini, if I've got any mini dimensionals. No, I've only got big dimensionals, but that'll work. One more dimensional to pop under that little pink heart there. And I'm just going to use the offcuts. So what do we think of the card, and do you think it uses the sketch, met this brief of the sketch? So let me show you again. So we've got a little hearts, and we've got a sketch. Hi Alison, thanks for watching. Just trying to see who else is watching. Hi Carol, thank you for watching. Now, I think that it sort of works. So this is the sketch with the two pieces of pattern or rectangles. They could be pattern paper, they could be squares. They've got a border around the outside and it's got an element in the middle. So this is my version of the sketch, and I think it does meet the brief. And yeah, and as I said, it's pretty. I'm not sure that it's a colour that, well, it's not a colour that I use a lot, but I think it's a bit of fun. I've shown you a few different techniques, so how to get around not having your, so I've shown you a tearing technique, how to add some extra colour using your embossing folder, some blends, colouring your ribbon, inking the backgrounds. So it's got lots of different things in there, and you don't have to put in that much effort. If you wanted to use that sketch, you could just make it a really simple sketch. Make a really simple card, just add those little bits to it. So I'd love to see what you come up with using that sketch. I'm really interested. So if you make something with the sketch and send me a photo, and you go in the draw for a pack of embellishments, or if you're overseas, I'll send you a tutorial, an exclusive tutorial. But yeah, let me see what you come up with. So you've got till the end of the month to come up with a card using that sketch. I think that's a nice way to start the year. So it's sort of a giveaway, but you have to work a little bit for it. And yeah, I can't wait to see what you do. So I'm really excited for the next month. We've got classes and we've got coffee cake and cards coming up on Valentine's Day, so that's going to be a bit special. We've got champagne and crafts this Friday night, and that's going to be fun. That's our first champagne and crafts, so it's BYO champagne, or drink of your choice, and I provide the snacks and the kits and the alternative things. And so yeah, welcome back everyone, and I hope you have the best year this year. And yeah, I'm looking forward to crafting with you. Until next time, happy creating. Bye for now.